Pinsitters!
Hi! And welcome back to another family reaction video. This time we're going to be doing something that we have, it's like a little bit of a mini-series.
It is.
Of kind of like preparing us for when we visit America. Finally, so when it happens. And this time is a little bit of a warning maybe.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing the don'ts of visiting the USA.
Ooh.
So don't do it when you go there.
Interesting.
Okay?
Right.
So let's check it out.
Okay.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walters World, and today we're in Mystic, Connecticut, in a beautiful place here in the U.S. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the U.S. because anywhere you go in the world, there's things you should do, but there's also things you shouldn't do. And this video is going to just cover the U.S. in general, okay? And our first don't for when you visit the U.S. is don't touch the Americans. Look, Americans really like their personal space. It's like they have a bubble around them, and if you get too close to them, they feel very, 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 very uncomfortable.
I'm like that.
So make sure you give them a little distance when you are there, you know, because I know when I go to Italy and Spain and stuff, we're like, Mark, how's it going? All this stuff.
Yeah, Europeans are very...
friends sometimes go, wow, they're really affectionate. Like, that's just how it is. Here, space is key. The second don't I have for you is don't count on public transportation. Look, when we were in China and we were throughout Europe and South America, we took buses and trains and planes and all kinds of stuff to get all over the place because public transport is really developed. Here in the U.S., you cannot count on public transport to get you a lot of places.
Sounds a bit like New Zealand.
In big cities like New York and
not
Chicago
that trustworthy here either.
like that, you can get around for the public transport and it'll take you where you want to go. But a lot of towns, small towns especially, in middle-sized cities, the public transportation networks are not very good. And at night, sometimes it's not very safe. So that is kind of a frustrating thing. So yes, you're going to probably have to rent a car when you come here, okay? So just have a heads up for that. And that kind of leads into the next don't I have for you is don't underestimate the size of the U.S. The United States, continental U.S. is like continental Europe. It's huge. I mean, would you think of driving from, I'm going to do, from Lisbon to Paris and then go up to Tallinn and then head down to Sofia. No, you're like, that is insanely far. It's the same thing when you come to the U.S. I meet a lot of travelers that are like, I'm going to fly into New York, grab a car, drive down to Miami to see Miami Beach, then head over to L.A. I'm like, dude, you got 2 weeks? You're going to spend the entire time in cars. The distances here are insane. So what I recommend is picking a region. So, we're going to stay here in New England and see New England. Or we're going to go in the Southeast, go to Atlanta and Savannah and Charleston, things like that. Or visit the West Coast. You do that to get a better idea of the culture there and things like that. But also, it's just the logistics things because it's so far between the places. And to go along with that, for Americans, a 3 to 4 hour drive, that's a day trip. Like my parents live 3 hours away. I will literally get up, go drive, have lunch with my mom, and then drive back home. Just for lunch. 6 hours in the car. No big deal.
It's kind of like between us and Auckland.
That kind of is a long drive. And we drive the entire way through. Okay? This isn't like, I must stop every 2 hours and have a 15-minute break. No. We drive all the way through. Okay? Now, my next don't for you when you come here is don't think that the sticker price is the end price. Look, in the U.S. we have sales tax. I know other countries they have VAT, value-added taxes. They're already put into the price of products. So when you see, it's $1 or €1, I only pay €1. In the U.S., it is not like that. We have sales tax, so a certain percentage is added on to that product. And the thing is, I cannot tell you what the sales tax will be where you're going to travel because it's different everywhere.
That's confusing.
Cities, states, counties, different products have different sales taxes. And some products don't have sales tax. And some cities don't have sales tax. And some have 10% sales tax. It can be different anywhere you go. So if you're going to go get your dollar menu item at a McDonald's or a Culver's or a wherever, it's not going to be $1. Where I live, there's 2 cities right by where I live. One, it's going to be $1.08. The other one, it's going to be $1.09. So be ready for that. And it's not just the sales tax. Also, there could be the tipping on top. And that leads us into the fifth don't. And that is, don't forget to tip.
Yeah, man, we cannot forget to tip.
We'll probably forget.
It's so foreign to us.
Now, McDonald's, stuff like that, no, you don't tip at
Eat it, buddy.
Food place. But it's a sit-down restaurant where they bring you your food and stuff like that. You will tip them 15 to 20%. If you are in a group of 6 people or more, sometimes they automatically put the gratuity on there, which sometimes can be 18% or something like that. Look, when you come to the U.S., there's a reason why the food is like so affordable. You're like, wow, it's cheap to go out and eat in the U.S. is because there's kind of this understanding that the service fees and paying for the workers and the waitresses and stuff like that, that goes on to you, the person eating there, with the tips. So the food and stuff can be cheaper when you go out to eat. And I know a lot of people say, I don't believe in tipping, and tipping isn't the right thing. They should pay their people more. Well, if you want to pay more for your food, they can do that. But they don't, okay? So tipping is something we do here in the U.S., so do tip that 15 to 20%.
It's such an odd culture to me,
It is.
tipping.
It's so strange.
You're going to want to tip a couple dollars here and there. Otherwise, the bartender might not be too quick to come back and get you your next
I have a
drink.
question. Do they pay
So
tax
following
on
off of those
tips?
tips, what you need to realize is our next note is don't be freaked out by the over-the-top service and free stuff you sometimes get in the U.S. Look, because of tipping and commissions and stuff like that, yes, there is a lot of over-the-top service here. But the thing is, in the U.S., the people actually are pretty nice, and they want to help people. And sometimes for some travelers, if they come from countries where people don't get a lot of service sometimes, it can be a bit much, so don't freak out about it.
Whoa.
Also with that is don't be freaked out with some of the free stuff you get when you go to restaurants. Look, if you go to a restaurant, they bring you bread and water, chips and salsa and all those really good things. That's included in your meal. Okay, so if you're going to be buying something, they're going to give you some free stuff. It might be some bread, it might be a salad, it might be water, it might be something like that. So don't be like shocked and like, wait, I didn't order this bread, I didn't order this salad. Oh no, that comes with your meal, okay? Now the thing is though, you can't just go in and get chips and salsa and walk out, all right? You actually have to order some food when you go there. Now my next note for you is don't smoke cigarettes in the U.S. If you're smoking cigarettes in the U.S., people will look at you like you're trying to kill their baby. Cigarettes is like totally verboten. Like people really frown upon it, which is funny because when they talk about marijuana and stuff like that, people don't seem to care as much. But cigarettes, oh, you're trying to kill my baby with that cigarette 2 blocks away. So
2 blocks away.
Make sure you try to find a place where you can smoke because a lot of restaurants, or pretty much all restaurants, hotels, stuff like that have smoke-free. It's smoke-free. So
Kind of
you have to go like 15 to 20 feet away from doing things.
Yeah.
So that can be something. So I've come here outside my favorite liquor store to give you the next don't. And that is don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21 or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over.
Hear that, kids?
Yeah.
Don't try it.
And
Here
thing
it's
is, don't
18.
forget
Yeah,
your
it is, yeah.
ID, because if you look like you're 40 or under, they may ask you for that. And don't get
we'll
mad
be
at
fine
them
then.
because if they don't ask you, they can get in trouble and get fined. So don't be surprised because we've had friends that have come here, try to buy alcohol, and they're like, sorry, you don't look old enough. Oh, I don't have my ID. Too bad. And the thing is, it's not just the person buying. They might ask anybody with you, so make sure everybody has their ID if they want to buy liquor.
Wow.
Or they want to buy, they want to buy alcohol or if they want to buy cigarettes. So just FYI on that one. Oh, that's also another don't I have for you is don't bother with a metric system when you come here. We don't use we don't use meters. We don't use kilometers.
We're
We
learning.
don't use liters. It is inches.
We have been
feet,
learning.
miles,
Especially
gallons,
Atlanta, she knows all
Yeah.
the measurements.
She's good with
pounds,
measurements.
things like that. And I'll put a conversion chart here to show you. But honestly, you may say, hey, how far is it to this next town? And they'll tell you, oh, it's like 60 miles. You're like, what's that? Just know 60 miles, it's about 100 kilometers, okay? So just do that because the people here won't get it. I mean, I have people, and I'll tell them, oh, it's 100 meters away. They're like, 100 meters? It's like 100 yards. Oh, okay. So make sure you do know your imperial system, okay? Because metric, we don't do that so much here. So our next note is when you do come to the U.S., there's a couple things you don't talk about, okay? One is gun control, and 2 is politics, because no matter where you are, you will get people on either side of the spectrum, and they will have an argument with you. So it's best just to lay off those topics, talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if it was sunny today? We can go sailing? Yes, that would be much better than discussing gun control or politics. Just putting that one out there for you right now.
That's all good.
Now, my next note for you is
I can
don't
talk sport
assume
all
that
day.
all
Yeah.
the U.S. and all the Americans are the same. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you're a typical American. Well, it's like saying you're a typical European. Look, the U.S. has all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different people, all kinds of different topography and scenery and stuff like that. And when you come here, don't assume it's all the same. You will see regional differences in cuisines and how people treat each other and how everything looks, all kinds of stuff. So don't just think there's just one kind of American. They're all fat, slobby guys with ponytails. No, there's actually a lot of skinny people in America too. Not just fat guys like me and my buddy Jeff. They're all those. So don't assume it's all the same, all right? So do go out and explore. And that's why I always say is if you're going to come to the U.S., go and explore different regions because you'll get a really different feel. Because going to the southeast and seeing the plantation homes and going to see the southern towns down there versus going to the northwest and Seattle and Portland or going to San Francisco or go to the Midwest with Chicago and Milwaukee, you're going to have a very different feel, which is really a cool thing to do. And you start to understand is, wow, the U.S. does have a lot of different cultures within it, a lot of different feelings when you go around here. And following on with that, I guess I would say another don't is don't assume there's no culture in the U.S. because there are a lot of cultural centers out there. If you go down
Why would
to
you
New
assume
Orleans,
that?
you see a very rich culture there. If you go to New York or Boston, here in New England, you have a very distinct culture. In the Midwest
Sure.
with Chicago, Milwaukee, you go to the West Coast. I mean, there's a lot of different culture here. Historic culture with the Native Americans or more recent culture here. I mean, you have all that here.
Oh,
you
so
can really
Van Gogh.
take in and
Yeah,
say
we're
there's no
related to
culture
them,
in the
right? Related
US.
to 'em.
It's not really true because there are all these different cultural centers with great museums like the Art Institute of Chicago or the Met in New York, the Getty in LA. There's all kinds of stuff you can see and do when you are here. For a cultural trip, it's not just seeing the
Founding
beautiful
fathers.
landscapes and seascapes like we are here in Connecticut. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, my next don't for you is one that I kind of get a lot of questions about. We actually have a video on this, and then that is, don't think that how are you or how's it going is actually a question. Look, when we say how's it going, how are you, these kind of things in the U.S., it's not a question, it's a statement. It's like saying hi. Okay, just take it as a hi. Because a lot of people say this, everyone asks me how I'm doing. When I try to tell them how I'm feeling, they're like, well, I was just saying, how are you? Here, how are you is just hi. Think of it that way.
kinda
It's
the
like in
same here.
France.
Yeah.
Ça va? Ça va? How's it going? How's it going? We're good to go. In Portuguese, tudo bem, everything good. You answer back, tudo bem, everything good. It's just, how are you? How are you? You move on, okay? So
Yeah.
don't think it's an actual question, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is don't expect a lot at the fancy hotels. You know, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to pay more money for this hotel. I'm probably going to get nicer stuff, like a nicer breakfast, better Wi-Fi. Oh, no, 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 no. For some reason in the U.S., it seems like the nicer the hotel, the more you have to pay for the things that you think would be free, like Wi-Fi and breakfast.
Wow.
So don't
Wow.
feel like you
That's a
have
good
to
tip.
stay at the fancy hotels, because honestly, if you're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right? So stay at the hotels in the U.S., and the cheaper ones will give you free
'Cause
Wi-Fi,
it's 13 is
free
that lot,
breakfast,
remember?
all these kind of things.
Oh, wow.
Which is really
Americans think
nice,
that
so
13 is
don't
better.
expect that from the fancy hotels. Another don't I have for you is don't skip out on the local food. Look, we're here in New England.
Yeah,
We're
oh, I
in
wanna
Would
do it.
never do
Yeah.
that.
Lobster and clams.
We're all
Oh my
foodies.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Clam chowder. Oh, my tummy is just like, no.
This guy gets it.
It's fantastic.
He's a foodie.
When I'm in the South, man, Southern fried chicken, mac and cheese.
Oh, man, look at that.
Oh my God.
Boil up.
The food in the different regions in the U.S. are great. So don't just go to chain restaurants. When you go to your hotel, ask them, hey,
There's
what's some
so much
local
to try.
restaurants around here? What's some locally owned and operated restaurants? So you can go there and check out those places because they really give you a great experience.
Sonoran
And I find a
hot
lot of
dog.
times
Yes,
those
that's
ones
Arizona
actually
State
have better
food and we're gonna
service
make
than
it.
chain
Really?
restaurants.
Yeah.
Because it's a mom and pop place where the owners are the ones helping you out.
one.
And that is really kind of a cool thing.
Right now.
Now, my next don't for you is don't get sick. Look, healthcare in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
is
Oh,
insanely
true.
expensive.
Yeah.
And just because you come from another country doesn't mean they're not going to find you for the bill. All right? So if you're going to be coming here, make sure you get travel insurance or trip insurance so in case you do get sick or you do break an ankle or you do break an arm or
True.
something happens to you,
Wow.
your insurance will cover it. Now, you might have to pay it first and your insurance pays you back, but at least you'll get something back because healthcare here in the U.S. is insanely expensive. Okay?
It's free
So
here.
Make sure
Yeah.
you're prepared for that.
Healthcare's
And I
free.
guess my last don't I'm going to have for you is one that people actually got mad at me for when I lived in other countries when I told them the U.S. has 50 states. And they said, no, the U.S. has 52 states. Look, don't think the U.S. has 52 states. The U.S. has 50 states, okay? Just a heads up on that one. I'm sure that people are going to be commenting down below.
What are the other two?
When I
Yeah,
was in school,
yeah.
they told me 52. No, there's 48 on the mainland, and then Alaska and Hawaii are 49 and 50, all right? So, those are our don'ts for visiting the U.S. What are some of the don'ts you have for the U.S.? Because I know there's more out there. I just want to get
I
some of
think I
these
know
out there to
why.
help out
'Cause
travelers
Hawaii
heading
is
to the
3
US,
islands.
just so we can get things going.
Could be.
Do you have
Maybe.
videos
Hawaii
like this?
and
Do you
then
have
to-
stuff on
yeah.
what the don'ts of going to Russia, the
think
don'ts of
that's
going to
what
Germany,
they
the don'ts of going to Brazil and things like that. and we really like helping travelers with honest travel advice. So if you like this video, do click that subscribe button. It means a lot to us, and we put new travel videos out every Wednesday and Saturday to help great travelers just like you.
Sure.
So I'll say
Go check it
bye
out.
from Kevin.
Yeah, go
Walter's
check him
World.
out. He's cool.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, it's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I've got something that I've noticed about, and I've only observed this on movies, so whether it's actually true or not, and I've always noticed it. Americans don't seem to say goodbye on the phone.
Oh, it's just like a...
Like it's like, hey, yeah, we're gonna go. Should we meet at 12? Okay.
boom. Yeah.
There's no, okay, bye.
Yeah. There's
Love
no...
you more.
No.
I love you the most.
no, you hang up. No, you hang up.
You hang up. Nah, it's just they don't say goodbye. Is that true? Do you actually in real life don't like say goodbye? Is there no definitive end to the conversation?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, yeah, I know. Like, you know how they hail taxis? You have to like stand in the middle of the road and
Yeah.
like shout and like put your arm in the air.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's like you just like call
Yeah, you
the
just
taxi
call
and
a
they
taxi.
come to the address. Oh,
Yeah.
but I suppose like in our big
We don't
cities,
have big cities, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have like even in Auckland, our biggest city, people aren't really standing on the side of the road needing taxis to get
Nah,
everywhere.
we don't really have a taxi culture so much.
We just
No.
call an Uber.
You would call one
Yeah.
because there's
So that's a don't of coming to New Zealand. Don't stand in the middle of the road trying to wave a taxi.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, I'm on the way to pick up a customer.
yeah. You almost have to book them.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be the odd one in Auckland City where you might be able to go to a taxi stand where they're waiting, but it's not really.
That's more
Yeah.
a bus.
Yeah.
But also, I suppose with the whole Uber culture now, it's all changed a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But anyway,
That was super interesting.
I've remembered everything, so don't worry. When I come to America, we're going to be
Yes.
perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Perfect visitors.
Yes.
Okay.
And we will tip you.
And if you like that one, guys, make sure you smash the like button and
Yes.
also hit the post notification bell, as always, and check us out on Instagram. And once again, a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members. Thank you so much for supporting us. And if you guys want to join the family, we do actually have big things coming to Patreon, big perks and some announcements and stuff like that. So we are working on that.
Yeah.
So if you do want to join the family, the link is down in the description. And also, we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.